Hello, beautiful beings. I am so happy that you made it here today. I'm very excited about this podcast. My name is Melissa. I have been an energy healer for over 20 years. So I am a Reiki Master. I am a Psychic Reiki practitioner. I am a Sacred Activations Master practitioner. And I'm also a Yoga Nidra coach. So this podcast is very special to me because I have done a lot of healing for my inner child. Childhood trauma can cause many problems, from depression to anxiety, addictions, and low self-esteem. Just an overall sense that life sucks. And that's just the way you feel. And um, I really want to help you with that. So please do not fear. I have used these activations, and I find this is the easiest way to deal with this emotional trauma. And I really want to help you. So before we start this treatment, I would like to call in my friends of light for love, guidance, and support. This is my team of guides, angels, and higher energy. So just take a moment to tune in. Calling in my friends of light, love, guidance, and support for help with this podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, as I'm going through this treatment and this podcast, I will be referring to you as the listener. So, when I'm referring to you as the listener, that means that I'm doing an activation or some sort of energy healing that is directed towards you. I would like to invite my Reiki crystal to open a portal to the person listening to this recording, the listener, and place a Reiki sphere of divine grace around that person for protection. Next, I would like to ask my Reiki crystal to take the listener into a Reiki meditation to open and accept all these sacred activations to shift your consciousness for your highest good. And I invite my Reiki crystal to create a Reiki cord to the listener to connect our energy. So thank you again. Thank you for showing up today. This is a two-part podcast to help heal the inner child. So the first one, which we are doing today, is going to be releasing you from a lot of judgments, problems, and things that's been going on in your life. We're all just programmed from the time that we are born into doing the things that we're taught to do just by being in the family that we're in. So do you have childhood trauma that needs to be healed? Is there a little voice inside of you that reminds you of the things that were in the past? And no matter how old we grow, we always carry this little inner child within us every day. So when these little things come up that reminds us of our painful childhood, this is our way, our body is telling us that those are the things that need to be healed. Once we heal them, they'll stop coming up. And this is how we're going to find the peacefulness that we're looking for in our lives. So, what exactly is inner child work? Inner child work is a way to address our needs that haven't been met as children and to heal the trauma around those needs. Every child experiences trauma, some more than others, and it has a lot to do with how sensitive the child is. We all have a younger part of ourselves that was never quite loved enough or in the right way that was needed for the child. Inner child work, like any type of inner work, involves creating a space where your subconscious is allowed to take the lead. By releasing negative energy, shadow, or trauma, we are making room to bring in light, healing, and peace. And so that's what we're going to be doing on the second part of this podcast. This podcast, we're releasing it all. The second podcast, we're bringing in all kinds of light, love, and happiness. So please be sure you tune into the second part also. So why do you think that inner child work is so important? So as adults, we're just carrying around these wounds, whether they're simple or complex trauma, from emotional neglect to physical abuse, and many adults feel that they're alone with all these hurt feelings. And so they cover them up because they feel that's what grown-ups do. Some also cover up because it's just too painful to deal with. Heal the inner child, heal your present self, and heal your life. But I'd also like to say a little bit about the painfulness that we're scared of to deal with. I think that, and this is from my own experience, once I bring it up and it's healed through sacred activations or whatever modality that I'm using for it, once I bring it up and deal with it, it's not really as painful as you might think. And as soon as it's gone, it's gone. Like it's amazing. And yes, you can heal and you can feel better. Believe me, this is the route to go. So we were reminded that we're not wrong, we're not bad, and that we are lovable. We can heal shame that comes with just having feelings. By healing our inner child, we begin to create the safety and security our younger self has always needed. By doing so, the positive traits of our inner child have room to shine, and we unlock our natural gifts, our curiosity, a limitless capability to love. You find yourself in the middle of a meadow. It's a very sunny, warm day with a slight breeze. There are hundreds of daisies and yellow flowers scattered throughout the field. Walking through the wildflowers. As you're walking through them, the scent fills your nostrils. Strolling over to the tall, mighty oak tree. The mighty oak tree is associated with an ancient universal power that symbolizes a strong connection to the divine. And as you're standing in front of this beautiful oak tree, there must be hundreds of years old. The door slides open and you can actually walk into the tree, into the elevator in the tree, and you realize that the elevator is made of black obsidian. The elevator is going to take you down into Mother Gaia, into our beautiful planet Earth. We are all electromagnetic beings, and as our energy flows through Mother Earth, this connection rebalances us naturally by transmuting negative energy and recharging our electric fields. You walk into the elevator made of black obsidian. It is so black and shiny. It looks very glossy and smooth, and you can almost see your reflection in it. Black obsidian is a wonderful crystal for grounding and helping you bring what needs to be released out for your highest good. Once you're inside the elevator, press the button that says Gaia. The door closes and you are going down very, very quickly, down through all the layers of Mother Earth until you reach the center. Down, down, down through all the layers of Mother Earth. The elevator door opens and you walk into some sort of a large opening. There is a crystal healing chair in the middle of this opening. This crystal chair is made from Mother Gaia's heart chakra crystal. It is a beautiful shades of pink and white with a deep red at the base in a beautiful gradient display. You walk over to the crystal chair and you sit down. Feel the love and the grounding energy from Mother Gaia. Let it fill you up, feeling safe and loved. Evolving spiritually begins with Mother Gaia. And if you're not rooted into Mother Gaia, you cannot evolve, grow, and heal. So you are now grounded, and I will begin the treatment. I'm going to start with Psychic Reiki to balance all the systems in our body. I invite my Reiki crystal to send Reiki to the listener's brain and nervous system. I invite my Reiki crystal to send Reiki to the listener's digestive system, including the stomach, intestines, both large and small, esophagus, and any other aspects of the digestive system, such as enzymes, probiotics, etc. I invite my Reiki crystal to send Reiki to the listener's circulatory system, including the heart, veins, arteries, capillaries, and all the blood that is flowing through them. You can imagine the blood flowing through your veins, being lit up by Reiki energy, oxygenating it. I invite my Reiki crystal to send Reiki to the listener's respiratory system, including the lungs, sinuses, nasal passages, and all the airways in their body. I invite my Reiki crystal to send Reiki to the listener's muscular system, including all muscles, ligaments, and tendons. I invite my Reiki crystal to send Reiki to the listener's skeletal system, including all bones, joints, cartilage, skull, and all the vertebrae in the spine. I invite my Reiki crystal to send Reiki to the listener's glands and major organs that has not been treated. Thank you, Reiki crystal. So we're going to be going into the sacred activations, and I will be deactivating traumatic experiences. And these activations will run for you as needed. They will also clear people with the same issues. This is a very intelligent energy. So there'll be lots of shifts. So the first sacred activation I'd like to run for the listener is called Clearing 0 to 7. Please run the sacred activation for the listener, a child's guilt and shame deactivation. The next sacred activation I'd like to run is called Abandonment Issues. Please run the sacred activation now for the listener. So a lot of these activations may not be what you need, but you will get what you do need from them. Your body will only take what it needs. Please run the activation Disappointment Release for the listener. Please run the activation Loss and Grief for the listener. Please run the sacred activation for the listener Fight or Flight deactivation. Please run the sacred activation for the listener Jealousy. Please run the sacred activation for the listener. Unmasked emotions. Please run the sacred activation for the listener. PTSD and sexual abuse. I'd also like to mention that even if you're not feeling these, that doesn't mean that they're not working. Everybody has different levels of sensitivity. Please run the sacred activation for the listener. Shame and humiliation. And please run sacred activation for the listener. Release separation, anger, resentment, judgment, fear, and hatred. To please run all these activations through the collective consciousness of Mother Earth. There are many ways to release. You could feel like crying. You may have tears and don't know why. You may be burping. You may be sighing. You may be yawning. You may feel like you had the flu. Those are a few ways that you may be releasing. So if you're unsure about that, you can always just look up symptoms online of ways of releasing from energy work. But those are the main ones. And I'm just going to run a couple more activations just to finish off the sacred activations and get you protected. Please run the sacred activation for the listener, Universal Life Grid. And this activation puts protection around you. And please run Rise of the Phoenix for the listener. The rise of the phoenix is rising from the ashes. Just imagine that that's you rising from the ashes, being totally healed, totally loved, totally safe in this world. I would like to thank you for joining me. I have a couple more psychic Reiki processes to do with you. I would like to invite my Reiki crystal to create a Reiki sphere of divine grace around the listener, which is a huge bubble or an egg, and it is filled with Reiki energy, completely surrounding the listener. I ask my Reiki crystal to send the Reiki wave to the listener to create a calming effect from head to toe. And I invite my Reiki crystal to shift all the frequencies to the most perfect and gentle form of integration for this listener. So, how are you feeling? There's been times after I've had treatments that I just get really, really tired and I may need some naps. Some people experience headaches, plus all the things that I mentioned earlier. Just honor your body. If you feel like you need a nap, take a nap. If you have a headache, take something to help it if it's really bad. If it's not bad, you can get through it. Just drink lots and lots of water. You could add a slice of lemon to help get rid of the toxins. You can take a walk in nature. You can take a nice hot bath with Epsom salts and sea salt, maybe some essential oils. You can meditate, and I do recommend Yoga Nidra, and that is on my YouTube channel, Yoga Nidra with Mimi. Thank you for showing up. I am so happy that you're here, and I know that this is going to help you. So good luck, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you, and have an awesome, awesome day. Peace and love. Namaste.